What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new Let's Play. Sorry I let that little intro cinematic play out, but you know what? It's one of the most iconic moments of the game, how can I not? Last time on the channel, we completed up our Let's Play of Plants vs. Zombies, a very nostalgic game to me, from my childhood. And this time, we're going to be playing The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, a very nostalgic game to me from my childhood. Zelda is my favorite video game franchise of all time. I've played all the games. I love them dearly. I've discussed the lore like an absolute nerd on online on forums because Zelda's full of lore that I like. No, but first ever 3D Zelda. It's important for that. Grew up with this game. Still holds up. I know it holds up because I grew up with it in 2007, and I played it on the actual N64. And I played it on a 1.1 cart, which is a single step up, which is literally, that's the base, oldest version of the game available to the public, is that version. That was the uncensored, uncut version on N64, on a blurry TV. And yeah, we are going to be playing here on the Nintendo Switch Online version, which is the best way to play the N64 version of the game legally. Best way to play it is through emulation, via playing the 60 frames per second upscaled PC remaster, PC port, if you will, made by fans, which is absolutely stunning. But yeah, we're playing on the N64 emulator on Switch. It's official. You'll get used to the border. It was there for Earthbound 2. Ignore my Paper Mario 64 Paracarry profile picture. I know it's not fitting, but I like the way it looks. I do have an Ocarina of Time profile picture on Switch I could set up for next episode, but we'll get to that. That's not important. No one's going to be paying attention to that anyway. I did play the sequel to this game, which I think is the better game, Majora's Mask. One of my favorite games of all time, and my favorite Zelda game of all time. I've played it on the channel before. Played it on the Wii U about maybe a month or two before it came out on Switch in the definitive version, because of course it did. But yeah, we're gonna be playing on Switch this time as opposed to Wii U. So no more messing up Ocarina songs for the buttons, which is very nice for me. But yeah, this game means a lot to me. We're not gonna be doing 100%. We're not gonna be getting all the golden Skulltulas. We're just gonna be doing base vanilla. Might do a few side quests here and there that I enjoy doing, but we're not doing everything. But this game isn't as packed full of content as Majora's Mask is. So by skipping out on certain side quests, we're not missing a lot. I'm basically going to be showing everything of importance, and also little secrets and little creepy Easter eggs and creepy moments and hidden areas of the game. This is a very fun game. Everybody loves it. Let's get started here. We're going to name ourselves Link for the sake of the story, because if there's one thing everybody knows Ocarina of Time is good for, it's the story. Considering it was the highest rated game of all time until GTA 5's release in 2013. This game came out in 1998, so it held up that bar for a very long time, and some people still consider it to be the best game ever made, if not one of. If you check out most people's lists of best video games ever made of all time, Ocarina of Time is definitely in there for sure, and it's either at the top or it's very close to the top. So a lot of people still love this game. I still love this game. I've wanted to cover this game forever on the channel, even when I just had dreams of having a channel. Here we go. Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, let's play. In the vast, deep forest of Hyrule, long have I served as the guardian spirit. I am known as the Deku Tree. The children of the forest, the Kokiri, live here with me. Each Kokiri has his or her own guardian fairy. However, there is one boy who does not have a fairy. Navi. Navi, where art thou? Come hither. Oh, Navi the fairy, listen to my words, the words of the Deku Tree. Dost thou sense it? The climate of evil descending upon this realm. Malevolent forces even now are mustering to attack our land of Hyrule. For so long, the Kokiri Forest, the source of life, has stood as a barrier, deterring outsiders and maintaining the order of the world. But before this tremendous evil power, even my power is as nothing. It seems the time has come for the boy without a fairy to begin his journey. The youth whose destiny it is to lead Hyrule to the path of justice and truth. Navi, go now! Find our young friend and guide him to me. I do not have much time left. Fly, Navi, fly! The fate of the forest, nay the world, depends upon thee. Link, wake up! The great Deku Tree wants to talk to you. Link, get up! Hey, come on! Can Hyrule's destiny really depend on such a lazy boy? You finally woke up. I'm Navi the Fairy. The great Deku Tree asked me to be your partner from now on. Nice to meet you. The great Deku Tree has summoned you, so let's get going right now. Here we are at Child Link. I will admit, this is a very prominent flaw of Ocarina of Time. The inside of houses, the inside of non-fully 3D houses that are rendered in 2D, that are rendered in, 3D renders. They do not hold up. They don't hold up well at all. I'll be completely honest. They have a nostalgic charm to them for me because I grew up with N64 games. But, general standpoint, these things look like absolute garbage. Let's get out of Link's house. It looks like shit. Kokiri Forest. Hi, Link. The color of her fairy, this save file is blue. The color of her fairy is randomized every single time you play the game, so I was curious what it was going to be. Wow, a fairy! Finally, a fairy came to you, Link. Wow, that's great news. I'm so happy for you. Now you're a true Kokiri, Link. Is that right? The Great Deku Tree has summoned you? It's quite an honor to talk to the Great Deku Tree. I'll wait for you here. Get going. Go see the Great Deku Tree. If I have to read the line Great Deku Tree one more time, I'm gonna blow my brains out. Alright, so the start of this game, this opening section here, we gotta grind up, I think it's 50 rupees to buy a shield from the shop, but we also have to go get the sword, so let's go do that now. Yeah, the opening of this game is very tutorial-ish, considering this is the first 3D Zelda game and also the first 3D action game like this. So yeah, this game is very influential. Navi is not as annoying as a lot of people say she is. As you can notice here, a lot of her tips are optional, but we'll read this one because that up there thing, it just bugs me. The Great Deku Tree, damn it! The Great Deku Tree has summoned you. Please come with me. Shut up, Navi. As you can tell, I'm very happy in this while recording this, and I love this game very much. Majora's Mask is better, but this one's still awesome. And Majora's Mask is also really cool and part of because of this game. You got the Kokiri sword. On the equipment subscreen, select it with the cursor and equip it with A. This is a hidden treasure of the Kokiri, but you can borrow it for a while. Be sure to practice with it before you really fight. Alright, let's equip that bad boy. As you can also see the map of Hyrule here. Much bigger than Termina. But like I said, Majora's Mask is a sequel. I played it first on the channel. It's going to be kind of weird to look at this game as its own thing now because I played Majora's Mask first. Consider it a prequel. We'll go with that mindset, huh? How about that? I think that will do the trick for the time being. Kokiri Sword also looks different in this game than it does in Majora's Mask. I'm not sure why they changed its design. It's redesigned in Majora's Mask looks better, but they never explain why it's drastically different between games. I imagine at some point Link probably upgraded it or modded it or something in between, but I don't know. I can't start talking about Majora's Mask theories. I'll spoil this game's story. 20 rupees, nice. Man, these houses did not hold up well. I'm trying to get the negatives out of the way up front so we can enjoy the positives of this game, because it does definitely have a lot. A lot of positives. This game is very important to a lot of people, myself included. Not going to be wasting our time talking to the Kokiri children. Not worth it. Yeah, this house is a great spot for rubies. Well, early game rubies at least. The best grinding spot is actually one of the earliest spots in the game, which is nice. And it's right next to a loading zone, so you can just keep reloading it over and over again. You don't have to, but I always like to jump off of this thing. The 3DS remake of this game is actually the best version, except for a glitch where you'll notice if I jump off a hill and land, I won't take fall damage if I roll forward. That's glitched in the remake. It's not there. It wasn't removed because they still tell you to do it, but it doesn't work. That's the only downside to the 3DS remake. Other than that, 3DS remake's the ideal way to play this game. I don't recommend using my channel as a walkthrough, but if you do, play the 3DS version of Ocarina of Time, especially if you're a person who does like the old graphics bother you. Definitely go with Ocarina of Time 3DS, the best version. The audio mixing on it's a little weird, but it's still the best version. But N64 holds up, and I do prefer N64 for nostalgia reasons. But I mean, objectively, 3DS remake 100% the way to play it. $46, we're close, we're getting there. 47. I actually don't mind the rupee grind at the beginning. It gives you, especially for new players at the time when this game came out, it's a nice way to give them a chance to explore the way physics work in this game like water. I can't remember if it's 50 or 60, but we'll find out here. Hey Link, look this way. Look over here with the okay, Z-targeting tutorial. We got it. Welcome, yes. Oh, it's 40 rupees. We went 10 over. I'll get the nice upfront view of the Deku Shield there. I like the little design on it. You got the Deku Shield. Alright. Yeah, this, explaining how to equip items, it shows up for a while, and for a while it's not skippable, but eventually in the game, they stop telling you about it. You can just skip it. I don't know why. It's weird, but we won't have to sit through the tutorial message about how to equip items every time. Press R to crouch and defend. If you press R while Z-targeting, you can move while defending. Nope, that's all we'll be buying today, but we will be equipping it now. Very nice. Alright, we can move on. Deku Tree we come. If you want to see the Great Deku Tree, you should at least equip a sword and shield. What's that? Oh, you have a Deku Shield. And what's that? Is that the Kokiri sword? Good grief. Well, even with all that stuff, a wimp is still a wimp, huh? I, the great Mido, will never accept you as one of us. Shoot. How did you get to be the favorite of Saria and the Great Deku Tree, huh? I don't know what grumble, grumble, grumble would sound like, but we do know that Mido is a bitch. Alright, Deku Baba is our first enemy. They won't damage you, but they do drop Deku Sticks, which are, in a terrible glitch, these Deku Sticks are stronger than the strongest weapon in the game. So yeah, these guys are nice to hold on to. And I'm pretty sure the max carry amount is like, what? Like 8 or something? I'm not gonna grind them up though. Great Deku Tree, I'm back. Oh, Navi, thou hast returned. Link, welcome. Listen carefully to what I, the Great Deku Tree, am about to tell thee. Thy slumber these past moons must have been restless, and full of nightmares. As the servants of evil gain strength, a vile climate pervades the land and causes nightmares to those sensitive to it. Verily, thou hast felt it. Link, time has come to test thy courage. I have been cursed. I need you to break the curse with your wisdom and courage. Dost thou have courage enough to undertake this task? Then enter, brave Link, and thou too, Navi. Navi the fairy, thou must aid Link. Tutorial I'm not reading. Alright. Already, let's go on in here. Our first dungeon of the game is already here, inside the Great Deku Tree. I'll let you listen to the music, because it's actually one of the best tracks in the game. It's very atmospheric. Actually, we're gonna have to kill these enemies here first, because the battle music is gonna interrupt the song. New item though, Deku Nuts, which is stun enemies. I keep saving by accident. Oh well. I'll let you listen here. I don't know, the music is very calming. Koji Kondo did a great job with this game soundtrack. Let's get this item here. Our very first dungeon item. Actually, that's not true. This is the map. I don't need to explain what the dungeon map does. It's a map of the dungeon. Yeah. Shut up, Navi. I'm not going to read all your tutorials. I'm only going to read stuff that's important to the story from you. But yeah, this dungeon is extremely important. And this actually is going to segue into how I feel about Navi as a character. This dungeon is extremely important, because nothing had ever been done like this before, you know? 3Ds was already a new concept when this game came out, and 3D action-adventure dungeon crawling exploration games, essentially open-world games at this point, were not something that... hold on, I gotta read what this guy says. Forgive me, master, if I give you a clue, will you let me go? When you jump off a high cliff, if you... Oh, I already explained this. Yeah. Yeah. Deku, shut up. Alright, yeah. No, but nothing had ever been done like this before, and Navi over-explains stuff that we take for granted now. Press A to open a door. This is how you walk around. This is how the camera works. This is what these buttons do. But back then, people didn't know any of that. Navi, which is actually, her name is a play on the word navigation. She was required, she was a necessity. This game would have not been playable by anybody back in the day if she wasn't around. And I can very much respect Nintendo for adding a explanation character in for this. Hasn't aged well, but at this point, having Navi bug the shit out of you is just such an iconic part of the game. I really wouldn't have it any other way. If there was an option to remove Navi's incessant pestering you, in a potential second remake, I would absolutely despise if they got rid of it. It's just part of the character. It's part of the game, you know. It'd be sorely lacking without it. Here's our first dungeon item, the fairy slingshot. Now we have to listen to. See how it's weird? You can't skip. Well, I mean, I guess this is explaining that the items go on the C stick, C buttons if we're actually on an N64 controller, but I'm not. I'm on my Switch Pro. We're gonna set that to Y. And we're going to, we can Z target shoot it, now we're gonna first person shoot it. There we go. But yeah, now Navi was a required character. I wouldn't have it any other way. It's just, it's so charmingly annoying. Deku Seeds, nothing special. They just act as your ammo for the slingshot. Our max carrier amount is 30 at the moment. We're not gonna be upgrading, the slingshot. So, we can forget that. I really wish we would have upgraded the sword in Majora's Mask, though. We're going to upgrade the sword to its max ability in this game. I don't know why we didn't do it in Majora's Mask. It's not that hard. You just have to beat a race as a Goron, and then give it to the mountain smithy guy up on Snowhead, and he'll forge your sword for you into the razor sword, and then he'll forge it again for you for 100 rupees into the gilded sword. I don't know why we didn't do that, because those swords look awesome, but we are going to be getting the best sword in the game here. Your sword can't be upgraded in this game, but there's 3 swords you can grab, and we're going to be getting all 3, because the third one's optional, the first 2 are required. Actually, no, that's a Skulltula, we'll fight him later. We already fought a Deku. But you know these things, because we played Majora first, I don't have to explain what these enemies are, because you probably all recognize them by now. Deku Stick is a torch that will open up the door behind us. I've just locked. I'll put that out because these things are valuable. Alright, the compass, lowdown, it shows you where the chests in the dungeon are. I can't shoot you. You guys don't get hurt by slingshots in this game, do you? No, that's Majora's only. Yeah, figured. I admit the one thing this game does have over Majora is, I think, the general combat. There's a lot more combination. The combat's more in-depth here. You have to block with your shield a lot more and make windows for blocking and stabbing. I don't know, it's very better designed here in my opinion, but that's just me. And that's coming from someone who vehemently enjoys Majora's Mask more. But yeah, these guys you can only attack them from behind in this game, which is something new. Yeah. These guys over here, you destroyed a golden Skulltula. You got a golden Skulltula token, proving you destroyed it. This is the collectible. Every single Zelda game has them. Majora has the masks. This game has the Skulltulas. Link to the Past has the crystals. Or no, Link Between Worlds has the squid, like the octos. The optional collectible for 100%, right? For reward. We're not going to be getting all of them. There's 100 in the game. We're not going to be grabbing all of them. We're only going to be grabbing 20 because 20 rewards you with a better wallet, which we need to get a part of the game that isn't required, but it's so iconic that I would kick myself in the butt every single time I thought about the game if I didn't get this Let's Play. So we're going to be getting the wallet upgrade for 20 Skulltulas so we can get an optional thing. This puzzle I still really like. You have to jump off and break through the spider web at the bottom of the Deku Tree. One thing that did always surprise me about Ocarina, especially, well, not, I shouldn't say that because this was my first Zelda game, so I didn't know what to expect from Zelda, but looking back on it, I've always been surprised that this game throws you into a dungeon in its very first few minutes. I mean, we got to the first dungeon in 14 minutes. So, yeah. And the Kokiri Forest is not a big area, as you saw. We explored every single part of Kokiri Forest just then, there in that section. I'm surprised that they threw you into a dungeon this early. But yes, going back to what I was saying earlier about my 1.1 cart. As we can see here, that is a early example of, let's Skulltula here. An early example of, I should say our first example of the later releases of this game, censoring certain aspects. But Ocarina of Time and Islam do not have a good relationship, and this is the first example. As you can see, this symbol here on this switch is unique. It was created for this game, right? It's a made-up symbol for a made-up race of people made by Nintendo. On the 1.0 and 1.1 versions, cartridges, and any single illegally emulated version of the game that you will find, you know, that you'll just in general find, that symbol is not unique, but rather it is the Islamic symbol with the crescent moon with a star in the middle. And in subsequent releases, it was removed. The reason it was in the game in the first place was because they were rushing for time on what the symbol was going to be, and the graphic designer just pulled the symbol out because, you know, he was on a time stretch. So whatever symbol he found goes. Wait, what's your tip? I'll never do it again if you spare me. You will never beat my brothers up ahead. Okay, this is actually important. Unless you punish them in the proper order. The order is 2, 3, 1. 23 is number 1. I always remember that. Do you think I'm a traitor? Yeah, that is actually important to the dungeon. No, but the reason the Islamic symbol was removed was because it violated Nintendo's, at the time, no reference to railroad religion policy. And there's another instance in the game of Islamic symbolism being used in this game in terms of audio in one of the dungeons that we'll get to much later. This is Navi explaining how to dive underwater, which is actually something that we haven't learned yet, technically, because Majora's Mask never requires you to dive underwater until you're in Zora form. And obviously Zora form isn't in this game, so yeah. Actually, I should have read that, but yeah, no, it's pretty simple. You can hold your breath for 3 seconds, you hold down A to drop, and then when 3 seconds are up, you're forced to rise to the surface. Did we mess this puzzle up? Because I don't know if that platform's gonna be back here in time before the water rises again. We have to do this so that way we don't get hit, we don't bonk our head. Okay, no, we ended up being fine. Oh, he turned around to spin attack me on the same frame that I jump slashed him. Yeah, push blocks. We know how these work. We've played Majora. Yeah, these things also had the crescent moon symbol on them, but as you can see, they're replaced with the. This symbol isn't Kokiri, by the way. It's a symbol for another tribe in the game, which I won't spoil yet. But yeah, this used to have the crescent moon on it too. And I grew up with the version with the crescent moon and the Islamic audio for one of the dungeons on there, so it's still very jarring for me to see the changes because I'm just so used to the uncensored N64 Director's Cut version, which I had. Alright. Simple torch puzzle here. These puzzles are all very simple, but back in the day, these things were you actually had to think about these. I wouldn't actually be surprised. It sounds silly now, but I wouldn't be surprised if back in the day, tons of people got stuck in the Deku Tree dungeon, which we are currently in, obviously. Would not surprise me a bit. And I know that because I played with the guide, and I got stuck in the Deku Tree dungeon when I was little. Because up until that point, my only experience with 3D gaming had been Mario Galaxy. My first game ever, and also my second favorite game of all time. Actually, that's not true. It's not my second favorite. It might be. My favorite game of all time is still Mario Galaxy 2, though, for sure. That's a mix of both nostalgia and it's actually a really good game. But I'm doing a Let's Play on Mario Galaxy 2 eventually, so I'll hold my breath for commentary on that. We're 30 minutes in. Yeah, we're almost done with the dungeon. This first-person crawling used to creep me out when I was little. I didn't like not being able to see what was behind me. This room's actually pretty dangerous. We're on the upper floor of that room we were in earlier, and if we get hit by these Deku Babas, we will fall backwards into the water and have to redo that entire path up to here again. So you definitely have to watch your step here. Until, of course, you push this block down, but I like to clear the enemies out first because I like listening to the music. Yeah, Koji Kondo, who did the music for the first game, first Zelda, and Zelda 3. He didn't do Zelda 2. Some other guy did Zelda 2's music. I can't remember what his name is. But yeah, he came back for this game, and this is, as everyone who's listened to Koji Kondo music knows, this is one of Kondo's best soundtracks, by far. He did an amazing job on Ocarina of Time. There's a lot of iconic tracks in here that are still used today, outside of even Zelda context. Like, I'm pretty sure we've all heard this game's Lost Woods theme. I'm sure it'll bother some people, but I'm not going to grab that chest. All it has is a heart in it, which we don't need. Alright, we're entering the final room of the dungeon here. Okay. 23 is number 1, yep. Alright, so the way you do this is you need to get close to number 2. Okay, 2, 3, and then the first one runs away from you when you hit him, so you gotta catch him. How did you know our secret? How irritating! It's so annoying that I'm going to reveal the secret of Queen Goma to you. In order to administer the coup de grace to Queen Goma, strike with your sword while she's stunned. Oh, Queenie. Sorry about that. That was always a weird line to me. Alright, Goma. Our first boss. Parasitic Armored Arachnid Goma. Alright. Shoot her eye when it's red, and we're gonna use Deku Sticks to attack her. Nah, too late. Alright. We gotta stay Z-targeted on her, so that way when she climbs up, we don't lose it. I do like, this game is so unintentionally creepy with just the older graphics. It has a certain charm to it. That was also something that I feel was lost in the 3DS remake. The older graphics helped make this game's atmosphere a little bit better, in my opinion. But there we go, easy boss, she's beat. First 3D Zelda boss couldn't be too hard, right? Cool death animation, though. Bye-bye, Goma. Before we leave, gotta get our heart container, which upgrades our hearts by 1. Nice. And with that, our first dungeon is complete. Nice, simple run-through. Good music. Decent boss. We're out. Well done, Link. Thou hast verily demonstrated thy courage. I knew that thou wouldst be able to carry out my wishes. Now I have yet more to tell ye. Wouldst thou listen? Now listen carefully. A wicked man of the desert cast this dreadful curse upon me. This evil man ceaselessly uses his vile sorcerer's powers in his search for the sacred realm that is connected to Hyrule. For it is in that sacred realm that one will find the divine relic, the Triforce, which contains the essence of the gods. Before time began, before spirits and life existed, 3 golden goddesses descended upon the chaos that was Hyrule. Din, the goddess of power. Nehru, the goddess of wisdom. Farore, the goddess of courage. Din. With her strong flaming arm, she cultivated the land and created the Red Earth. Nehru, poured her wisdom onto the earth and gave the spirit of law to the world. Furore, with her rich soul, produced all life forms who would uphold the law. The three golden goddesses, their labors completed, departed for the heavens. And the golden sacred triangles remained at the point where the goddesses left the world. Since then, the sacred triangles have become the basis of our world's providence. And the resting place of the triangles has become the sacred realm. Thou must never allow the desert man in black armor to lay his hands on the sacred Triforce. Thou must never suffer that man, with his evil heart, to enter the sacred realm of legend. That evil man who cast this death curse upon me and sapped my power. Because of that curse, my end is nigh. Though your valiant efforts to break the curse were successful, I was doomed before you started. Yes, I will pass away soon, but do not grieve for me. I have been able to tell you of these important matters. This is Hyrule's final hope. Link, go now to Hyrule Castle. There thou will surely meet the Princess of Destiny. Take this stone with you, the stone that man wanted so much that he cast this curse upon me. You got the Kokiri's Emerald. This is the spiritual stone of the forest, now entrusted to you by the great Deku Tree. The future depends upon thee, Link. Thou art courageous. Navi the fairy, help Link to carry out my will. I entreat ye, Navi. Goodbye. Let's go to Hyrule Castle, Link. Goodbye, great Deku Tree. Alright, hold up, we gotta see what Mino has to say. Hey Link, what did you do? The great Deku Tree, did he die? How could you do a thing like that? It's all your fault. Shut up, Mino. Alright, we stumbled on a couple words there, but you got the general message. We got the first spiritual stone. Now we gotta go see the princess at Hyrule Castle. But we're not done yet. We have to leave first, and then I think we'll call it an episode. I like this cutscene thing. Oh, you're leaving. I knew that you would leave the forest someday, Link. Because you're different from me and my friends. That's okay, because we'll be friends forever, won't we? I want you to have this ocarina. Please take good care of it. You received the fairy ocarina. This is a memento from your friend Saria. When you play my ocarina, I hope you will think of me and come back to the forest to visit. Hyrule Field, one of the most iconic hubs of the overworlds of any game. But that is for next time. I want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next episode when we take on Hyrule Field and go meet the Princess of Destiny via the words of the Great Decree. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.